Welcome to the jungle. You're gonna die. You're gonna learn a true art form known as off-meta jungling. But what exactly is considered off-meta? My definition for off-meta jungling is that you're playing a champion that is either uncommon to the role or that you're using a build that is unique to say the least, whether it be runes or just the items that you chose. In this video, we're going to go over 3 main points as to why you should try off-meta jungling and why you should responsibly int, let's say. Reason 1, combating boredom and de-stressing. It's important. Now, I know nobody plays League to have fun, but nothing feels as good as being that one-trick Lee Sin with the most off-the-wall choice you can think of. When I go against Lee Sins, I actually like to play Electrocute Poppy. It's a lot of fun, and it's really effective to see Lee Sin just get shut down by that W. But this concept applies generally. It's fun to just confuse opponents and destroy them as a result, at least for me. Nothing as good as just seeing your opponent rage off the face of the earth because they don't understand how your champion works. Real talk though, if you play ranked at all, you know that it's going to tilt you off the face of the earth eventually, right? Happens to all of us. And if you're like me and you refuse to stop playing League, I recommend just going to norms and trying stuff out. Specifically off meta for my purposes, but you can try anything you want really. But staying in the focus of this video, experimenting is a lot of fun and you can really find some unique ways to play the game that you never thought of before. And if people are giving you a hard time in norms, just tell them to shut up and mute them. Either one works, because honestly this game is about fun, so just have a good time. It's about de-stressing. Reason 2, everything started off as off meta. Now there are very few instances where something started as a meta option. Everything starts as off meta, and experimenting and trying new things is the only way to actually see what works and to iron out those flaws so that you get the perfect build every time. Now, not everything's going to be broken beyond belief, you know? But as you experiment, you'll get to find that you improve as a player, not just because of your actual like macro or micro or whatever, but just because of the decision making that you're able to make in your build path and stuff like that. And by no means am I saying that playing off meta means you're not trying, because you can certainly do it and still win the game. I mean, most of the time, just having better macro will get you there, even micro. But just playing the off meta helps make the meta better, if that makes sense, because you're having to adapt the item picks that you make as you develop this off meta pick, and you're kind of just reading the items generally helps you, so it'll go a long way, trust me. Reason number 3, the element of surprise. Picking off meta means your opponents are less likely to know how to stop you. This doesn't just mean in game either, this applies to the draft phase as well. Picking an off-meta pick can totally ruin someone's game if they have no idea what you're playing. Think of how many times you were into a certain champion and you were sure that it was them, and then you counter-picked them and everything, and then the draft phase ended and it turns out they were somewhere else. Sometimes you only picked your champion because it was a counter-pick, and that felt extremely terrible. League is a mental game at the end of the day, if we're being honest, and getting the ball rolling on your opponents early like that can certainly be an advantage, let's say. Another thing you can do if you're feeling particularly spicy is that you can get some friends to help you out, and the more off-meta picks you got, the less idea the enemy team will have of what the hell is going on. And in duo queue this works too if you can just get 2 people that generally play a certain role and swap them. So like for example, if you play Jack's top and then your friend plays Shyvana jungle, you can actually swap those. They're both particularly good at what they do in either role, and that way your opponents will have zero idea what the heck's going on. And by the way, if you have any like particular off-meta things you like to do with your friends, let me know in the comments below. It's always good to get some ideas rolling in my head as well. Now I know what you guys might be asking yourselves. How can I know what the difference between off-meta and inting is? Well, my channel is devoted to off-meta picks, particularly in the jungle since that's my main role. However, I'll have a series of videos that cover runes, items, and playstyles for certain champions that would be deemed off meta. And we're just going to go through those videos as I post them, and we're going to evaluate how those champions work and whether it's something you should try or if you're interested in it. And at the end of the day, it's all about how you feel. If you want to try something really particularly and your friends are trying to convince you not to, well, just take it into a norm by yourself and see how it goes. There's only one way to find out if things are going to work or not, and that's to try them. So if you think you're going to have fun with it and roll with it, then just do it. And if you have a terrible time, never do it again and put it in the bin, just like Yuumi Jungle. Disclaimer, please do not play Yuumi Jungle. I will hunt you down if I find you playing Yuumi Jungle. And the final thing I want to mention to you guys is, on this channel, I int, so you don't have to. Peace.